So we're back with Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. So now I'd like to ask you, me coming into the job market, should I focus on making a certain aspect of post-production my strong asset and then just kind of be secondary versatile in other aspects? Like, let's say, make myself really strong in storytelling, and then just color correction or, you know, anything After Effects, things like that, make it secondary? Or should I just try to really be strong in all aspects?
I think probably, in my experience, the first place you really need to be strong is storytelling. You know, that's really primarily what an editor is there to do, is tell the story. And then from there, recently, there hasn't been much color correction so much because the cameras are so good now and they're so balanced that you're really tweaking your color for the most part, in nonfiction anyway. In fiction, obviously, you're back to that stylized sort of opportunity. But After Effects has really become something that I find a lot of people want editors to know, you know, a little bit, to be able to do a simple composite, to be able to do some of those transitions that you can only do in After Effects, or even now titling, you know, especially in 4K. We're looking at doing all of our titling in After Effects. So, you know, I think it's important to have those secondary skills to keep yourself marketable.
Now, you're a post-production supervisor, right? What does that actually entail?
Well, I'm a post-production supervisor and a post-producer. So sometimes that means the producer goes away and is off developing their next project while I'm finishing the one that they've just finished shooting, you know. And so I have done everything from actually source editors and hire editors to looking at budgets prior to production, and we're comparing them to the script to see where there may be pitfalls for post-production, where things may be more expensive than what's budgeted in a particular episode. I also music supervise, so I do a lot of music sourcing and a lot of clearance of music as well, and sometimes working with clearance companies to do that. I supervise color correction, sometimes with the DP, sometimes with notes from the DP, sometimes with the director, sometimes with nobody. A lot of shows, when you're in series, sometimes people are still on set shooting, so you get all their notes and you compile all their notes and you're responsible for incorporating all those notes into the final product, looking at spelling for final credits. It really is pretty much anything and everything that could be touched or affected after shooting stops. And then during shooting, it's watching dailies. Is there something that happened in dailies? Maybe, you know, there was a digital problem, and you have to go back and reshoot something. Or can we actually fix it more cost effectively than a reshoot? So looking at that. Sometimes you're dealing with insurance companies if you get damaged footage. And working with the insurance company. Well, normally a producer would do that. I've done so much post-production, often they just, here, do it. You know, getting cuts out to network executives so that they can look at making sure those are delivered at the right time and the right dates to the right people, making sure there's feedback, and keeping the producer involved all the time as to where you are financially. You know, we're in the 3rd week of editorial, we have 6 weeks, this is what we have left. Or, hey, guess what, that piece of music is only going to cost us half as much. Or it's 3 times what we expected, so now we're going to go into studio and I've actually produced copies. You know, taking a Pink Floyd song and we've cleared one half of it, and now we bring in a band to do the other half to make it affordable. So it's a little bit of everything. A lot of time on mix stages, a lot of time sitting next to sound editors. I've supervised ADR, a lot of ADR supervision and direction. You're matching a performance. Or if a director's in Europe shooting, making sure they're patched through on the line, doing those bookings with the agents. There's a pretty wide variety, and depending on who you work for, depends on how much of that responsibility falls on you and how much of it the individual producer might want to take on themselves. So you have a lot of producers that are really involved and really knowledgeable about post, and they want to be there, and there's certain parts of it they like, so they want to take that piece. So you have to be flexible.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. We'll continue this conversation in a bit. Thank you.